I'm Susan Kennard, and I wanted to take everyone through a really cool process that I use with my clients. And it's something that I find really helpful. And the reason being is because we don't actually need to know, once again, very much about what the issues are with this particular situation. And essentially what it is words. Now, if you think about a word, and let's say, for example, you happen to be on medication, and this is just an example, and I'll give some more examples as well before I do the process with you. But essentially, say you have a word which is your medication that you're on, and let's just say for this example, it might be Zopiclone, which is a sleeping aid. So some people use it to help them sleep. Quite a lot of my clients have done that in the past. So essentially, you write down the name of the tablet or the name of the medication. And as you look at that, you actually feel how it feels when you essentially write it down and you feel into it. So what we're actually doing with words is they are actually spellings. And if you think about the word spelling, it comes from the word spell. So we know, don't we, that if we speak about ourselves in a positive way, then we're actually spelling in a good way. And if we think about ourselves in an unpositive way, for example, you know, if we think all the time we feel fat or we feel too skinny or we feel too ugly or we feel, you know, too poor or too whatever, if we're thinking that all of the time, then essentially we are going to a place where we're actually giving the message to ourselves, and the message to ourselves will be of that vibration. So if we think about, I mean, there's NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, where we're actually reprogramming our way of thinking. But in this case, I'm not actually going to be doing that with you, and I tend not to do that with my clients, because what I find is that when we clear these unwanted energies and blocks, then actually we already reprogram ourselves. So it just leads me intuitively to talk to you about Erickson, which in my old psychology days, which was a very, very long time ago, I have to say, in my first psychology degree, we learned about Erickson and how when you say something 7 times, it goes from your short-term memory to your long-term memory. So essentially, when I work with clients, I talk about the back of the shed. So imagine that our brain is the back of the shed. And in that shed is all of the old thoughts, ancestral thoughts as well, mums, dads, nans, granddads, and all of the things that you would put in the back of a shed. For example, a good analogy might be bikes and pots and pans and things for the garden, and other stuff that you just don't want to have in the house because you haven't got space. So lots of things get put in the back of our shed. But what I'm talking about is emotions. Okay. So those emotions then are staying there. And what happens when we put so many things in our shed? If you think about it, if our shed is so full, there isn't actually any room for any other thoughts. There isn't any room for anything else to actually come into our shed. So we have to unpack it. We have to open up the doors of the shed, and we have to take out those old bikes, and we have to take out that old stuff that's broken and no longer needed. So essentially what we're doing is we're looking at the emotions, which are words, which are thoughts that we've held within us for a very, very long time. And sometimes it's stuff we brought in with us as well. But for the purpose of this video, I just want you to understand that it really is just a process of healing your unwanted emotions. So if you have chance, and maybe you can go back and watch this video again, but if you have chance, think about something that's happening in your world. It could be that you don't want to be taking the medication that you're taking, and I'm not suggesting that you don't take it. I'm not a doctor, but essentially you might feel that it's time for you to change, or time for you to come off of it, or time for you to feel better in a different way. So if you make that choice, it might be helpful to do this process and write down in bold writing on a piece of plain paper the name of the medication. And then you might want to sit and put your hands on your heart and do my Earth Star, Soul Star process, which I'll do with you actually in a moment. I'm feeling guided that I will take you all through that. And if it isn't medication, it might be that you can't sleep. So think about writing down the word sleep and see what comes up for you. So if you just get a pen and do that now, if it's possible, or perhaps do it later and re-watch the video, as I said before. And let's think about some other things. Maybe it might be weight. So if people want to lose weight or they feel that they're too overweight or too underweight, maybe if they wrote down the word weight. And what else can we do? I don't know, maybe love, that could be one. Let's try and think about it. Money. Some people feel worried about money or excited about money. So write the word money down. Maybe you could write, what's coming to me is home or house. Maybe you're thinking that you need to move home and you can feel what happens when you write it down. But I just want you to write one word. I don't want you to write a whole sentence. Okay, good. So once you've done that, I then want you to feel into it and feel the emotions that come up and write the emotions down underneath that word. Okay. You might have one, you might have two, you might have three. Okay. Good. And then I want you to put your hands on your heart if it's safe for you to do that. And I'm going to keep my eyes open for the purpose of this video, but you can close yours. And I want you just to breathe normally into your heart. Good. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And I want you to put your star in the ground. So essentially your earth star in the ground. So imagine the roots coming from your feet. And see your star in the ground. And when I work with children, I always say star in the ground, star in the sky. So I recently worked with a child, so I've got that in my mind at the moment. But essentially it's your earth star and your soul star that we're connecting with. So connect with that earth star. And then above your head, just imagine you could see your soul star. And then see a beautiful golden cord coming from your soul star all the way down to your earth star. So through your body, through your spine maybe. And we're doing this in a really quick way. I actually did a video the other day which was much more in depth for the earth star, soul star. Perhaps you can go back and find that on YouTube. That was healing the inner child, actually. Okay. And then I want you to feel that word that you've written down. Good. Feel where you feel it in your body. Give it a colour. And I'm really happy for you to post the colours later on, afterwards. Okay. Now feel where it is in your body once again. And feel that colour and that emotion. And now I want you to imagine that in your hand you have a magic wand. And essentially you're tapping that area of your body with the magic wand or your hand or whatever you want to use. And watch as that colour releases from your body and gets replaced with beautiful golden white sparkling light. Beautiful high vibrational light. Good. And just imagine all that colour lifting. And we can send it up to unconditional love to be transmuted. Fantastic. And now just feel into your body where that light is. How does it feel? And then now I want you to look down at the paper and look down at the word that you wrote. And how does it feel now? How does it feel to look at that word? It may still be intense, and that means there's a lot more work that you could do on a deeper level. Or it may have lessened quite a bit, because we know that all of this is just stuck energy. It's just a little bit of us that believed something that perhaps wasn't true, or we were told, and we held it in our energy field. as a truth. And we can just release that in a moment. Okay? So I want you to come back. Now you can do that many, 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 many times. Many times. And do it with all different words. And it's just something that I created a long time ago. And it works really well because it gets us out of that part of analysing anything that's happened in our past. Because actually, do we really need to go and trawl over it? We can talk to the cows come home. We can go over and over stuff. But if we can actually access emotions from a word, it's just one way of us being able to heal ourselves. So I hope you found that helpful as another little tip that you can use, and it's self-help. And if you'd like to work with me, I'd love to hear from you. And you can find me on susankennard.co.uk. So that's susankennard.co.uk. Or find me on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. And I'd love to hear from you anyway. So let me know how you're doing. And I will reply to everybody's message if they've got a colour that they don't understand or an emotion or whatever's come up for them. Okay, so much love. I'll be doing some more live videos because actually I'm feeling that people really need this at the moment, especially with the up and coming eclipse blue moon on Wednesday this week, which is this Wednesday, the 31st of January. Okay, lots of love. Bye for now.